Welcome to what is an historic night. We are doing the league finals in the men and the ladies in the colleges, the universities leagues, and that is fantastic to be able to say that back to back. Equality is the word for tonight. UCC against DCU in both games, and that is UCC you're looking at on DCU's pitch. So both games here in North Dublin, and it is those two colleges in the men's and the ladies. The ladies are on first. Game starts at 6:30, so we're only 7 or 8 minutes away. We'll go through the teams in a minute, but first let me bring in Niamh Heatherton. You're very welcome, Niamh.
Thank you.
It's good to be here, isn't it? It's breezy, but at least the winds are back and it's not raining.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cold night, but that's always what you expect in December.
In colleges, yeah. And you've played colleges. I mean, what was your career in colleges exactly?
I was with DCU back in 2020. Our O'Connor Cup weekend was cancelled due to COVID.
Oh, yeah, that one.
But we did win one league title, so that's good.
And what do you remember about that league final? And where was it and who was it against?
I think it was down. I can't remember where it was, but the conditions were a lot worse than this, and I don't think our jerseys were yellow at the end of the match.
Oh, right, okay.
I think you were more looking at black jerseys. I think the rain was down that day, but it's always a good competition to play in.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, you look at the teams, and we'll go through the teams in a minute, but the players you get to play with, I mean, everybody says it, but it's so true, to play with players from all these different counties. I mean, DCU, surprisingly enough, they've only 2 dubs in their starting 15 and 4 from Mayo. But look at the spread: Cavan, Roscommon, Leitrim, Meath, Longford, Laois. I mean, you must all just love playing in that level. Yeah,
you're playing against players, or playing with players you're used to playing against. And even at that, maybe some of those counties would never play against each other. It's good to get to know more players, and you make more friends as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's on the Ladies National Gaelic Football YouTube channel, so you can leave a comment there on the live chat for both of us or either of us. So we will go through the details now. It's Eddie Cuthbert refereeing the game. The other line, of course, is this is a repeat of the O'Connor Cup final from earlier this year down in MTU Cork, which went to extra time before DCU won it. But there's been obviously a lot of players have left both colleges and new players have come in, and that's the nature of colleges as well, and that's what makes it very interesting too. But first of all, Niamh, let's look at DCU. So only the 2 dubs. You're a bit surprised at that?
I am and I haven't, I suppose. I know we have 2 more on the panel. Niamh Donnelly and Niamh Crowley both picked up injuries during the college season.
I was wondering why they're in the subs.
But Hannah and Kerry at midfield tells its own story. I suppose having 2 dubs in the middle of the park is good for us.
Exactly, yeah. So Hannah McGuinness at number 8, she's from Skerries, and Kerry Owens from Thomas Davis. So a Dublin midfield. The rest of the team is from around the country. So Orla Corey in goals is from Termon and Donegal, and her fullback is also from Donegal, and that is Abigail Temple Asoko. I don't know if you've seen her much, but she's a terrific player. She's played county for Donegal and has been great coming through. Number 2 is Faye McAvoy from Ballyroan and Laois, although they can't find the number 2 jersey, so she's actually wearing 32. That's Faye McAvoy wearing 32. Left corner is Ciara Durkin from Knockmore and Mayo. 5 is Sarah Reynolds from St Mary's and Leitrim. Jenna Mortimer from Hollymount and Mayo is number 6. You can maybe hear the wind picking up on the microphones that's coming up behind us here, and it is strong, and that's going to affect the game, so it's going to be going right across the pitch. 7 is Christina Charters from Crusherlock in Cavan. We'll go past the midfield because I've told you it's all dubs. 10, Clodagh Lohan from Longford Slashers. 11, Maria Cannon from Burrashul in Mayo. 12 is Fanula McLaughlin from Westport in Mayo. And a very interesting line there, Fanula. Her twin brother is playing in the next game, also in the half-forward line, and also for DCU, that is Finbar. And they've another brother, of course, Owen, who plays for Mayo Seniors. So an interesting line there. Twins playing in both games. Number 13 is Emma Duggan, the captain. Needs no introduction. 14, Aisling Hanley from Kilbride and Roscommon, fabulous young player as well. And 15, Eva Gallagher from Kilcar in Donegal. That's the 15 there. How many of them would be familiar to you, Niamh?
Not too many. Obviously a few of the Mayo girls we would have came across over the years, and as you said, Emma Duggan, we definitely have come across her, unfortunately.
Emma who? Yeah, so feel free to leave a message on the live chat, or you can message me if it's easier for you on Instagram at Jerome Quinn 1. Let's go on then to the UCC team. So in goals, it's Caoimhe Ford. She's from Canturk, and she just got a UCC Sports Scholarship last week. 2 is Dara Canary from Lisgould, the Cork senior. You'll know her. In fact, there's 6 from Cork, 3 from Kerry, 4 from Waterford, 1 Laois and 1 Tip. And then you have Eve Parrott, number 3 from Waterford, 4 Roisin Rahilly, and she's in the Kerry senior panel. And earlier this year she captained Kerry to the All-Ireland Minor B win. 5 is Sive McGoldrick from Cork, 6 Aoife Healy from Cloyne. She was actually player of the match in the O'Connor Cup final earlier this year, despite losing that game. 7 Anya O'Neill from Kilrasandy Brickies, and 8 is Amy Harrington from Kerry. 9 Amy Corcoran from Cork. 10 is Emily Lacey, who had her brilliant Lynch Cup final earlier this year, and she was indeed a HEC All-Star. In fact, just as I'm looking up here, Niamh, can you keep an eye? Who's the captain of UCC? I didn't get their name. I think they're out there, but I can't quite see who it is. But anyway, 11, really interesting one here. Emma Morrissey for UCC is centre half forward, and yes, that's the same Emma Morrissey who played for DCU in the final earlier this year. She's gone to UCC to do her masters, so she has switched teams, and so is Roisin Ennis. Both are doing the same thing. So Roisin Ennis is in the subs, she's from Offaly, and both are doing their masters down in UCC. So they have effectively been transferred from DCU to UCC tonight, so they're playing against their old teammates, and both, by the way, have 2 O'Connor Cup medals. 13 is Breed McMaw from Ballymacarbery. 13 is Katie Brosnan, and she came on as a sub in the All-Ireland final this year for Kerry against Galway. 14 is Leah Hallinan from Waterford, and 15 is Abigail Ring, who was also on that All-Stars team earlier this year. And the wind really picking up and making it difficult here at DCU, but as Niamh says, that's the nature of it. But it is picking up to the stage where we're beginning to think we're going to get blown away here, and more to the point, Niamh, it's going to make it really, really difficult for the players out there.
Yeah, I don't think we can expect too fast a game here. I'd say a lot of it will be game management and holding on to the ball for as long as they can, working it through the hands.
Just explain to me a wee bit more of those tactics. I know what you're saying, but it's just to get a bit of an idea for people what you're saying. And is it that just the way they play, or do you think in these kind of conditions it's just going to force them to play really short ball?
Yeah, I think the conditions will force them now. The kicking game won't be on anymore. Holding on to possession will be key, and if you can do that for long periods of the game, that means you control it better. So with the wind, I think that will definitely be both teams' tactics. It'll probably be who can do it the best.
Absolutely, and I think it's just going across, so it mightn't be an advantage if you're playing from left to right, or it seems to be just it'll just be the same for both teams.
Yeah, it seems that way anyway.
Or when you play here, I sort of feel it's better playing from left to right as we're looking at it, or am I imagining that? Is that the scoring
I
end?
think they would say that's the scoring end, but we'll see now in 60 minutes if we're saying the same thing.
Absolutely. Just a few other lines. The DCU manager is Stephen Duff, but he's got some interesting team in there with him as well. Darren Kendrick from Kildare, Anthony Cook, he was the guy at Sills, wasn't he?
I think it's Nate Burrow, I think it's.
And you have Ciara Finnegan, Aisling Tarpey, Anya McParland. UCC's manager is Joe Carroll, and the captain is Emma Duggan of DCU. You didn't catch the UCC captain there, did you? She was wearing a bib, so I couldn't see what number it was. So I don't have the UCC captain, but if anybody knows, leave a message on the YouTube live chat there where the audience is building by the moment. Feel free to leave a comment there, or as I say, give me a message on the Instagram, Jerome Quinn 1. I'll keep an eye on the messages as we go on. So 2 games back to back, 2 for the price of 1. Not that we're charging you tonight, this is all free to view. It's for the O'Rourke Cup final, and that's your point now. The captain is, where is she? Is it the number 7 bib?
In the bib, yeah.
In the bib. Well,
Doesn't
maybe
seem
she's
to
not
be
actually
tugged
starting
in.
the game. Maybe they just sent her up to take the toss. Well, John Granger just went past us there. I should have asked him. If I see him, I'll give him a shout. And yeah, she's coming over, so I don't think that was maybe the captain of the team, but never mind. Let's get on with it. It is DCU playing against UCC, the 2024 Division 1 League final. There's lots of finals been played this week. I think there's about 7 divisions, and I think there's one actually on the pitch behind us here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
Ulster
if there
University
were.
are playing UCC on that pitch. I think it might be Division 2 final or something, so there's one on there. But this is the showcase one. This is UCC in the red, of course, and they're playing from left to right. And you see Emma Duggan there has gone to midfield. You'll not be surprised about that, Niamh.
No, I wouldn't. I'd expect to see her now out around the middle. I don't think they'll stick her in and keep her in close to goal.
So
I'd say
they
she'll
named
be
her
doing
13,
a
but
roaming
absolutely,
role
and
here.
also the number 5's in there. That's Sive McGoldrick. So few positional switches right at the start. And Eddie Cuthbert, the referee, is going to hop that one. Second hop in the first 30 seconds.
So you can already see here DCU have dropped a player back.
It's got 1
number
plus 1.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of to be expected, I guess, and that's kind of the way the game's played. And there she seems to be waiting for her player to come up, and indeed Amy Corcoran does come up, and there's another foul. A bit of a stop-start to the game. Emily Lacey, fabulous left foot on her, and she is from Laois, and she will be playing, well, I think she must have come up from Lynch Cup to this level, and there's no surprise in that. She was player of the match in the final in the Lynch Cup and really stood out. Really good play. This is good running now for UCC, and they get it back to Anya O'Neill, and she goes to get the first score of the game.
That's
Decent
Emma
strike, and
Morrissey.
it's just gone inside the post as well, and that's a good score. We've seen her do that for Waterford. There's no surprise.
I think that was Emma Morrissey who kicked that there in the end.
Was it Emma Morrissey who
Yeah.
put it over? I
Yeah.
saw number 7. I thought, okay, Emma Morrissey. So Emma Morrissey, who's been transferred, we were
Yeah.
saying, she's got the first point against her old team. Sorry about that. We are at ground level here, and oh, maybe it was the number 1. Yeah, I saw a 1 in the back. I sort of got a flash, and I thought maybe it was number 7. So yeah, you're right. Good spot. I'm glad you're here. 1
I
point.
think that will probably show that the wind is slightly with UCC.
Yeah.
I think it kind of
Yeah.
took it and made it travel over the bar a little bit there.
Yeah, and if maybe she was aiming for the other post, maybe she gave it a bit, but it went inside the post. Good score in the conditions, and the wind has just dropped, actually. Picking up again. Jenna Mortimer
Don't
now.
jinx it.
No, it's just for about 2 seconds there was fooled. And this is Duggan. And she's played a ball in there looking for Hanley. And she's always easily spotted anyway with the skull cap on her, and that's a nice ball in as well. She's linking up with Kerry Owens, the Dublin midfield, trying to work her way through. But yeah, I do feel it's a bit tougher playing from right to left, and they seem to be finding it. And now it is a chance for UCC to counter, and you see there our camera having a few difficulties in the weather as well. We're getting buffeted and battered here, and the players playing on regardless, and we'll carry on regardless as well. And UCC playing from left to right with 1 score already. Well, you said about not too many kick passes. There was 1, but there you see what happens with a kick pass. You know, it can make a fool out of you, because you can, you hit a good pass and the wind just carries it, and that was what happened there for UCC. And this is Sarah Reynolds now from Leitrim, the number 5 involved in the ball just going over the line. I have my UCC team, or DCU team, written out with blue, and every time I look down I'm confused because they're wearing yellow, but they were wearing blue last week in the men's, so
Yeah.
confused a wee bit by that. But DCU yellow and navy, but UCC with the lead. A little burst through there, gets her free, fouled by Duggan on Morrissey. Teammates earlier this year would have celebrated that O'Connor Cup win, and now playing against each other. That's Lacey again, and leaves it off. Now they're just outside that scoring zone again. They might try and get it to Morrissey again, and indeed she's available. Slip it back out to Brosnan. This is Katie Brosnan, Kerry player. They're just trying to get an angle to get a little bit of room. This is Breed McMaw. Back out to Amy Corcoran, been very patient. Short passes all around. Now McMaw could score from here, but instead she's worked it in. They try to get a score, and they have got a score, and that was really
Great
nicely
score.
taken by Katie Brosnan. Played in the All-Ireland final this year, came on as a sub in the last 10 minutes or so for Niamh Carmody, and she's got a score which you can watch again here, and really clever in the conditions the way they played that.
Yeah, they worked the ball really well. Tried to pick gaps in the DCU defence. DCU had numbers back, so they worked the ball really well to keep it
Yeah,
and
they
get a
kept
good score at the
possession, yeah.
end.
It's a good score by Brosnan. Now DCU 2 points to 0 down after 4 minutes on their home pitch, and it is going to be tricky, so they're going to carry the ball. That's sensible, bring it forward as much as they can, and that's good work by Fionnuala McLaughlin. She's a really fast, nippy player there. Change of direction, really good. This is Eva Gallagher now from Kilcar and Donegal, and they get a free, but quite a distance out, and they take it quickly and get it to Emma Duggan. And now Emma just trying to get on to her right foot, but just a bit too far out. So Eva Gallagher takes it instead, and now she's fouled. And the referee, you can always tell a referee, well, you know from playing in the first 5 minutes where the way they're going to play, and he's been sharp on the decision, so let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But Emma Duggan will fancy this. I do feel the wind is sort of going across the field, but maybe a little bit left or right, so she'll have to aim this at the left hand post as you're watching. Tricky one, maybe even further left.
Great score.
She has nailed it right over the black spot, no problem. 3 scores in this game after 5 minutes, 2-1. Now let's look at the kickouts. Do you see any particular strategy here, Niamh?
I would say that they'd probably go zonal and try contest them. They don't seem to have contested that one, but they'll probably form a line here now and try get turnovers up the pitch.
So let them have the kick out and then close in on them?
Press, yeah.
Yeah, Derry Canary got it rather easily from that, but DCU just sitting off, and they will start the press now, as Niamh says, but this is Breed McMaw. Getting a little bit of support. Quick hands. This is good. Amy Harrington, number 8. Emily Lacey, 10. No player holds onto the ball for more than a second or two, and the referee again. He's not really going much advantage here. He's just blown very quickly, isn't he? Yeah,
he's pulling everything up. I think it seems to be a lot of hands in that he's pulling early on.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a good thing early on, is it? To sort of get a message over to players, no?
Yeah, maybe better if it doesn't last the whole game.
Number 6 is Jenna Mortimer for DCU. 9 is Kerry Owens. And there's the kick pass, and that's exactly underlining the point you were making.
Yeah.
Don't do kick pass, and I say that's probably the word from the sideline now.
I definitely think they need to work it out more in the hands more.
Yeah. And that on an ordinary day that would have landed perfectly, but not tonight.
I think the wind just caught it.
Exactly, yeah. 6.5 minutes gone. UCC going down into that left corner. And this has been a really sort of familiar pattern with the way they've been playing, trying to come down the left-hand side mainly and try and get a little bit of room. And McMaw has a bit of room, and has she got the score? No, she hasn't, just hadn't got the distance. Maybe the wind held it up a little bit, but Orla Corey in goals there, able to save that one easily enough, and she's going to get the ball back here as well.
UCC's all 3 scoring opportunities have come from the exact same. They've worked down the left side and worked it to the right for the shot.
Yeah, and that's what they were trying again, but you just didn't have the distance that time.
No.
Is that, do you think, accidental, that it just happens to be all down the left, or is that a tactical thing? What do you think?
I think you'd find that in most games. A lot of the play goes down one side.
Why is that?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably you're stronger on your right foot, so
maybe.
Trying to
I remember
work.
a game last year, and a coach told me afterwards that they'd studied the other team and figured out that they wanted to force them down one side, so they overloaded one side. That's a great effort from Emma Duggan from play.
That's a great score.
That's a super score. Again, as I say, in the conditions, that's a brilliant score. Let's look at it again here. And yeah, again, quick hands, and Emma's always going to be able to do that, even in these conditions.
Yeah, well worked score there from DCU. That came from the drop short from UCC.
What, sorry?
Their score came from UCC dropping the ball short.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I haven't got my headphones on totally here. And that kick out was very similar to the last one, but it was too far to the right, and maybe again the wind playing havoc with it. But it's 2 points all now, and a chance here for DCU to get the lead, but well blocked down, but they might get it at the second time of asking. Hanley is there, and she's just going to try and swing on that, but again it just bobbled and didn't sit up for her, and UCC are going to breathe a little bit of sigh of relief there, and they're going to come out with the ball. Close play again, and they're under pressure. The press coming in from DCU, but they managed to keep possession. And yeah, I was saying to you about the one team last year, they were like, so they overloaded one side of defence to force them over, but I usually thought it was maybe the attacking team who decided that, but it was actually the defenders. I don't think the attacking team even knew that it was being done that way, but they were forcing them down their weak side.
Yeah, they seem to have done their homework.
Yeah. And there's a player down, so the referee blows that up. It's Emily Lacey who took a bit of a bang there, and the sensible thing, of course, that they do is to, if it's anything around the head, and yeah, she just got accidentally caught there actually, I think, by Jenna Mortimer just going past, but safety first. So 9 minutes gone, which is kind of flowing, and we've had a few good scores and some good football played despite the conditions.
Yeah, big time. I think 4 scores in the first 10 minutes is always good. Shows a good free flowing match.
Just checking on the messages here, and this is where it's always useful, because Caroline Mullane says Rachel Sheehan from Passage West is the UCC captain, and actually she was only given to us about half an hour before the game, because they came over and said UCC have 23 players, but we've just added 28. Rachel Sheehan from Cork from Passage West, so she's actually not only come in at the last minute, she's the captain as well. So thank you very much for that little bit of information. Right, DCU, it's maybe, do you know what, the obvious thing, it's the wind forcing it over that side, because all the play seems to be over the other side from us.
Yeah, big time. DCU are working the ball well here, not forcing anything and keeping it in the hands. Just as I say that.
Just as you say that, that's the commentator's curse. Yeah. UCC get it back, and they'll try and transition quickly. And you know what, number 5, Sarah Reynolds from DCU, has gone back to cover, and she's sitting in there. That was good covering by her, and she's sort of waiting there. She's minding the house, but UCC don't get that far, and instead it's going to be a free, and that's actually going to be a free out. Just checking on my YouTube there on the live chat. Thanks for that from Caroline, and also I'm checking on Instagram as well, and I got another message coming in there somewhere. I'll read that one out in a second as well. So you have different ways of contacting us if you so wish. That's a good kick pass, actually. We were saying no kick passes, but that was a good one. A punted kick pass and a nice low one into the forwards, and it got to Clodagh Lohan, and off she goes all on her own, and she is still going in that left corner, and she's coming inside now as well. It's great play from her. The support comes in, and a foul, and I think that was 19 actually for DCU, which
15 I think it
was
is.
it 15?
Yeah.
I'm glad you have better eyesight than me. Yeah, there she is. You're right. It is 15. It is Eva Gallagher, and she was there, and that's good support play by her. And there was the tug. It was Dara Canary put the arm in and then took it out, but it was too late.
Great run there by Clodagh Lohan. I think it could have been a goal chance now if the support came a little bit earlier.
And Emma Duggan with an easier chance than the previous one, and she nails it again. So 3 for Emma Duggan, 3 in a row for DCU, and they now lead 3 points to 2. Now let's look at this kick out again. She keeps going wide left to where Dara Canary is, away over in that corner, the scoreboard area. Where's she going this time? Yeah, she's going the exact same place again, and she's looking for it again, but it's a big ask, and the wind carried that away from Dara. That looks like something they rehearsed, because that's 3 times they've done that.
I'd say the wind is definitely a factor there. I'd say kicking into it isn't the easiest thing.
Well, that's what Aisling Hanley's going to do now. She needs someone, I think, to go short to give her a few options, and Emma Duggan does that and just pops it back out to her. I'm sure Aisling is loving playing in the same team as Emma Duggan, and there's an effort now, and that's very high, but the wind has just carried that, and where's it gone? Has it gone over? He's blowing, and I know he's brought it back. He's brought it back. Yeah. Must have been a foul on Aisling just before that. So nearly 13 minutes gone, and UCC, after their bright start, haven't scored now in 6 or 7 minutes. And Emma, is she trying to kick that off her left? She's shaping as if she's going to kick it left.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Into the wind, that's a big... Oh, she goes short. I was looking forward to seeing if she could reach. On her right now, more familiar, gets a good boot on it, and it is 4 in a row for Emma Duggan, the captain of DCU. 4 points, 2 from play and 2 from frees.
Yeah.
4 points to 2. Now let's look at this kick out again. Yeah, she decides not to go left with a big kick this time and gives it short instead to Roisin Rahali from Kerry. And Roisin leaves it off. She's actually in the Kerry senior panel. Although, of course, they have a new manager now, so I presume it's the same panel, or maybe they'll be bringing in new ones, but I'm sure she'll be there or thereabouts. Fabulous young player. And that is a foul by Gallagher. I guess sometimes there's no advantage anyway, because the player's brought down, and that was a clear one to give.
Yeah.
This is Syed McGoldrick. That's a good crossfield pass and good movement as well by Anya O'Neill, who got the first score of the game. UCC haven't scored for a while, and they could do with one now. And this is Breed McMaw trying to get an angle as well. Have you noticed, by the way, there's 2 UCC players wearing white socks? They do stand out.
Yeah.
The rest of them are all wearing black. So one of them is Emma Morrissey, and it's good for a commentator sometimes, because you go, oh, they're easier to spot. One of them is Anya O'Neill, and there's a high effort, but it's gone to the right and it's gone wide, and UCC now, as we come up to the first quarter, have not scored in about 10 minutes, must be, at least.
Yeah, they came flying out of the blocks, but they haven't seemed to be able to get the right shot off in the last few minutes.
Yeah, UCC have really settled well, and there's a short kick out as well. Nicely played again, or maybe UCC weren't pressing too hard, but DC very good at working it up the pitch, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the movement out of the defensive line is really good.
Played down into that right corner. Is she able to keep it in? She is. That's good work by Gallagher again, who's been all over the forwards on the left and the right. They're going to come back out now to Hannah McGuinness from Skerries, same club of course as Lindsay Davey.
Yeah.
And quite a few of the players in the next game, in the men's game, are from Skerries as well, by the way. Skerries Harps. This is Aisling Hanley from Kilbride in Roscommon. I'm sure she's loving life in her time here at DCU. Gets it back out to Emma Duggan, and a kick pass again. They're just spreading the ball quickly, and she hardly had to touch that at all. The wind just carried it to Christina Charters. So they've gone all the way from the left to the right hand side. Now they try to find a way through, but that's going to be turned over for UCC, and it is indeed. And I see what I mean about the White Sox. That's Anya O'Neill, and that's Emma Morrissey in the foreground, easier to spot. And the wind has just picked up a little bit. That's why our camera is a little bit shaky there. And there's the ball played now into the forwards, and it's a good ball as well. And it's good in to Katie Brosnan, who got one of the scores, and the full forward is there as well. That's Hallinan. Can they get a score? Can they get a point? They have. Well, they've stopped the rot at least, and that all came from the turnover, didn't it?
Yeah, I think DCU tried to force it a little bit there and then got caught on the counter. I don't think we've seen that much space in the DCU defensive line in a good while.
But it was the kick pass that done it, didn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, the
they
ball
couldn't
travels
get the
faster.
numbers back.
So they sort of got it in there quickly, and it was good work by Brosnan. Unselfish as well to leave it off, and you know what, they might get an equaliser here because Amy Corcoran has it now, and DCU have coughed up possession here. A little hand in, she's got advantage, and she's going to get her free now, and it's from a decent position. And with the wind, I don't know who their free taker is. If they had Emma Duggan and say this is over the bar, but I'm sure they got somebody.
I think Emma Morrissey is picking it up
Emma
there.
Morrissey coming out, yeah. Yeah, well, this used to be our home pitch. She should be all right. Yeah.
UCC are pressing the kick out a little bit more now.
Yeah. Is that, well, I suppose there weren't that many kickouts the last 5 or 6 minutes, but yeah, they certainly forced a mistake there. And she puts it over the bar for 4-4. On YouTube, Adam Charters, I presume you're related to Christina. Is there a team sheet anywhere? There isn't, actually. I did give out the teams at the start, and I'll try to give them out again as we go on, but let's follow the play. I think the wind is holding the ball up as well, which makes it really difficult for DCU getting it out, but they do get it as far as Emma Duggan, and she holds it up sensibly. And there is the 32. That's Faye McAvoy. Again, easily recognisable because she's wearing 32, but she is number 2. Or was named at number 2. She's the right corner back from Ballyroan in Laois. Now Emma Duggan. They have 9 counties, by the way, represented in their 15 DCU. Lots of up and coming super young players from around the country on show here tonight. Some already have arrived in senior county teams. There's all sorts of achievements at minor level and the like. And some of them have already played in the O'Connor Cup weekend. This is great work. I think that was McMaw leaving it off to Hallinan. That was 2 Waterford players combining, and this is good. And they're now looking for the lead again, but it was a really brave block that went in there. I'm trying to see who got the block. Was it Morrissey? Is she still getting up, or was it? No, it was Anya O'Neill.
Seems to be.
No, I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side. It was Christina Charters. Yeah, I was thinking of the other number 7. Got fooled. She had the White Sox as well, but it was Christina Charters, Crusherlock, who got that important block in, and a brave one as well. Took her a second to get up from it, but she's okay. Now that is spilled and picked up, snatched for Hannah McGuinness. And now to Duggan. Dublin and Meath combining for DCU as they now make progress up the right hand side. This is where it broke down the last time. Challenges going in, but they still persist. And that's McLaughlin, I think. I don't see the number, but I can tell the way she plays. Look at the pace of her, and look at her. She's brilliant, change in direction as well. Gets it to Hanley, and now Hanley will try. She puts it really high, and I think, it's not just going to, it might drop into the net. Oh, she's very lucky there, the goalkeeper. She lost it there, and maybe it got stuck. Maybe there's a little bit of mud or something there, but a little bit of relief for her. But you saw how difficult it was for Hanley. She put it very high in the air, and the wind just held that ball up. It probably would have gone over on another day. Nearly 20 minutes gone now in this Division 1 league final as UCC now find a little bit of room and a little space here for Corcoran to go into. So she accepts that. This is Morrissey. She is a player to her left. She uses her. And a lovely 1-2 as well, and now goes for a score, and just inside the post as well. Well, Emma Morrissey is coming back to haunt her former teammates, isn't she? That's the story so far.
Yeah, she's doing well. I think that's 3 points she has now.
And this is the one previously, and let's see what happened here. Look how high it went. And look,
I think UCC got out of jail with that one.
They really did. But it would have been a fortunate goal.
Yeah.
But it remains 5-4, and 5-4 is probably about right. It's an even game, and both teams have had good spells.
Yeah. UCC went out of it in the middle of the half there, but they're after coming back into it and getting the last few scores.
Thomas Curran says the DCU number 10, that's Fionnuala McLaughlin I was talking about, or rather no, that's Clodagh Lohan he's talking about, reminds him of James McCartan, a low centre of gravity, very difficult to contain, and that drops into the keeper's arms. And I know Niamh, you're maybe going, who's James McCartan? He was a fantastic player back in the 90s, won a couple of All-Irelands, and he just was very strong and very mobile on the ball, and a super bit of a legend. Well, not a bit of a legend, a complete legend actually, to tell you the truth. So that's who she is being compared to. It's a compliment anyway. And Clodagh Lohan, yeah, she's very good. She's on the other wing for DCU from Fionnuala. I love that line. I'm going to give it a game. Fionnuala McLaughlin's twin brother Finbar is playing in the game after this, also for DCU and also in the half forwards. And they're both a brother of Owen, who would be a Mayo senior. So a unique night and a unique double there for the McLaughlins from Westport and Mayo. Now DCU getting possession again, and this is Clodagh Lohan from Longford Slashers. They're held up a little bit. There is room across this side, but one thing seeing it and another thing getting the ball all the way over. Duggan just knitting it all together, and now they get it to Charters, and the Cavan girl gets it to the Mayo girl. This is McLaughlin, and I've seen her many times play at county level, and she's very nippy. You see that drop of the shoulder and speed there that she puts into it. Looking for Hanley, but that's not a great ball, and UCC will turn it over. And after scoring, well, it's been strange, hasn't it? Because UCC scored 2, DCU scored 4, and now UCC have got another 3. It's like one team takes over, and UCC seem to have prevented DCU from getting up the pitch as much as he did before. This is the number 15. This is Abigail Ring for UCC. Now, what options do they have up ahead? DCU have the +1 in there, and it's Sarah Reynolds. They play it down into the corner, looking for Brosnan. Brosnan spills it and gives DCU a chance to break up the field. But they're a long way from goal, so they just keep possession. And in fact, they'll go back to their goalkeeper, Orla Corey from Termon in Donegal. This is Asuku, also from Donegal, from the Sean McCool's club. And is that 6, is it? Jenna Mortimer, I think it is. Now Asuku, Abigail, Temple Asuku. And this is Duggan. Slow build up in UCC, not really pressing too hard. They're just letting them have the ball. And there's that kick pass again, but this time it works from Kerry Owens. She's a great young player. I mean, herself and McGuinness got a lot of game time for Dublin this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they are. They're 2 young players, and they really add to our panel.
They've played it right into the right corner. You can see the score there. But they haven't scored for a while, and they're not going to score with an effort that is going like that. The wind will catch it, and she didn't quite catch it well enough herself. That was a good kick out of defence, so that's an accurate one, and it gets as far as Anya O'Neill, who started. No, she didn't start the ball rolling. You corrected me on that one. It was Emma Morrissey who got the first score of the game, and this is Amy Corcoran.
DCU seem to be forcing it a little bit up in their forward line.
Yeah, and UCC really are countering well, aren't they? Transitioning well.
They're catching DCU out of position.
They are.
And they're really working the counter attack very well.
They are, and that's Emma Morrissey now playing it down into the corner, looking for Lacey. Leash combining with Tipperary, and this is Kerry now. This is Katie Brosnan again from the Furries Club. And if you know your Kerry, that's between Tralee and Killarney. They have 3 Kerry players UCC, and they're starting 15. Waterford as well represented with 4. Cork with 6, 1 Leash and 1 Tip. And there's a decent effort. They were very patient there, but it's just gone to the left and it's gone wide. So 5 minutes to go to half time, and it's 5 points to 4. Easy for the goalkeeper to go short. No great press there, but now they might try and press. But DCU happy enough to go back to their goalkeeper. And Faye McAvoy gets it now, so they've worked that quite nicely. Charters. This is kind of where the area where they seem to get unstuck, isn't it, Niamh?
Yeah, they can't seem to get it inside the 45. I think they have all their good ball carriers out around the middle.
Yeah,
they just need to
over to
break
McLaughlin
that line a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of rely on getting it to McLaughlin and then she'll make a run, but not on this occasion, to get it instead to McGuinness, to Duggan, and go back over to the right hand side. And this is Owens. It's past the partial at the minute.
They're
you see
moving
the
the
dugout
ball
on the
well
far
here.
side, see how packed it is. They're all trying to keep in there from the cold. Not that it's that cold, it's not too bad, just a breeze. It's a bit cold when it picks up, but it's not that bad an evening. It was raining all the way down from Belfast today, but no rain here tonight, which is great. Fionnuala McLaughlin comes back to Lohan. And they work it. They're trying to work it into a scoring position, but they only have it 1 scorer so far, Niamh, and that is Emma Duggan. Of course, 2 frees and 2 from play, but she's the only one who scored.
Yeah, I mean, you'd take it if she's getting you 4 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they need to work it a little bit more. They kind of they look a bit static around here.
Oh, and there comes a press from UCC, and they nearly steal it away. And actually, she's penalised there. Actually, was it the number 5? Was it Sive McGoldrick? No, it was the number 6. It was Aoife Healy from Cloyne, same club as Abigail Ring. In fact, she was player of the match in the O'Connor Cup final earlier this year. And really tenacious there again, but penalised. I sort of feel DCU won't be too bothered, though, that they've only had 1 score so far. As you say, the 4 points, they're close enough, only 1 point off. And I think it'll be better for them, easier for them in the second half with the conditions.
Yeah, I think UCC were getting a few shots off a bit further out, so maybe the wind is slightly going that way.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, a few of them have held up in the wind, but maybe second half to go over, so they're probably not in too bad a position at the minute. But of course, I'd like to get another score here now on Lohan. They've just been very patient around here, but UCC are almost sort of waiting for them, and then they're good at pouncing. And they've turned them over a few times. Eddie Cuthbert, the ref, has just did a little 20-yard sprint. I think he was expecting the ball to go up forwards, and he realised he had to go back to keep an eye on it. This is Kerry Owens again. Is patience the word? Is that what they're doing here, do you think?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to just keep themselves in the game, but I think they could do it kind of working up and working a score.
Yeah, well, they're doing that now with Reynolds. And Reynolds gets it to Lohan, and off she goes again. Duggan has popped up on the left-hand side. They're really stretching the play. Do you see where they are down in the corner as well? They're really trying to get around, but they're going around the edges, and now they've lost it again. And UCC have a chance here to transition again, and there's always a bit of a buzz when they do that, because look at the pace that they are going at, and DCU are trying to get players back, but they are going at such pace that Emily Lacey is now inside the 45. She's very capable of taking her own scores, and Emma Morrissey there, I think she thought about it. Now, Emily could easily put this over. She's a great left foot on her, and just didn't have the distance, and it spilled a little bit, but the goalkeeper Orla Corey able to get it at the second time of asking. Maybe I put the curse on Emily there, but she took some great scores in the Lynch Cup final this year down at MTU Cork. But tonight, of course, the conditions very different, and maybe the wind just coming across maybe just held that up a little bit. This is Faye McAvoy trying to get through 2 tackles, and will get her free. Just a minute of normal time to go then. Decent standard of a game though, isn't it, as you'd expect?
Yeah, it's good. I think DCU need to kind of change the pace of their attack. the slow build up doesn't seem to be working for them. I think if they can do what UCC have been doing and catch them on the counter at pace, they'll probably get rewards for it.
Yeah. No, I take your point. I think they're just struggling a wee bit when they get up the pitch, aren't they? Maybe it's the pressure from UCC or their tactics. You sort of wait for them and then pounce, but they sort of need to sort of do it a bit faster in general. On the YouTube, I'm just checking here. Saoirse Delaney says, up Westport. Support for Fionnuala McLaughlin there. And James says, come on DCU. And big shout out to all the Mayo girls, especially Fionnuala and Ciara Durkin. And here they come. This is what you're asking them to do, Niamh, and they are doing it extremely well, and they've got it to Clodagh Lohan, but they've come on, they've got stuck again, but at least they've got a free this time, so Emma Duggan might put it over. But is that what you were expecting or hoping they would do?
Yeah, UCC didn't have the time to get back there, and they were left a little bit open.
And she ran into the players and managed to get her free. So this will level it as we go into added time at the end of the first half. And it's 5 for DCU, 5 for Emma Duggan. I think they'll be happy with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think both teams will be happy. Kind of hasn't really been too open a game for either team, but it has been a good first half.
It has. It's been an interesting first half. Lots of good play, and it's ended up 5 points each. Now, I don't know whether they're going to go in at half time or they're going to stay out on the pitch, but we'll take a little breather there. We'll be back for the start of the second half in probably only about 5 or 6 minutes, I'd say. Welcome back, and you see last minute instructions being handed out there. There was a lot of instructions over half-time. They were very animated over here in front of us from UCC, and the manager is, by the way, Joe Carroll, who has just been named as the senior manager for Cork as well, taking over from Shane Renan. And UCC have also made 2 changes at half-time. And Emily Lacey is off to number 10 and number 9 Amy Corcoran. They've brought on Amy McDonough, another Cork girl, at 17, and Roisin Ennis is on number 20. And the significance there that the Offaly girl, along with Emma Morrissey, won the O'Connor Cup with DCU earlier this year, beating UCC in the final, and now both of them are on the field, so it could be an interesting second half. And it is DCU playing from left to right. The wind very strong going across the pitch, but I think slightly in favour of DCU in the second half. We will see what happens. The midfielder number 8 Hannah McGuinness does well excuse me, and feeds it through to Lohan. And I just feel it would be easier playing from left to right the way that it has gone. And DCU really stretching the play here. You see Emma Duggan getting it out to Sarah Reynolds, who hugged the touchline on this side. We haven't seen the ball too much over here because the wind is going across the field. That's well taken though by Kerry Owens, who's gone into that area and given it now to Aisling Hanley. I thought they were going to get a score there, but they're going to feed it back out. They're going to recycle it now to Emma Duggan, who is tackled by Roisin Ennis, her former teammate, now up against her in the red and black of UCC. Sarah Reynolds gives it back out to Kerry Owens, who's come back out the field, and they're all just rotating, it would seem, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too many set positions here.
And this is Reynolds again, making a little burst, trying to get through, but UCC have sat in now and they've 13 players behind the ball. McMaw comes out, but she's outnumbered there for UCC, so DCU will be able to bring it up, and they do with Lohan. That's great play by Lohan. They're just trying to create a little bit of space, get an angle where they can get a score, and they get a free. Now it's a fair distance out, but Emma will fancy this one.
Yeah, I think I'd be hanging around the box now if I was.
Oh, you think it'll drop? Yeah, well, with the wind, I mean, she's going to have to go for the right post, but I don't see anybody really, any of the midfielders going in there and thinking maybe this might drop in and around. Maybe they've just a lot of confidence in Emma, and that isn't going to do, and it's well taken. It wasn't the goalkeeper, but it might end up in the net. It nearly did, but finished. Cleared in the end by UCC, and it was off the line, and it wasn't the goalkeeper again who made that interception. So nearly, very nearly, the first goal of the game for DCU, and it was Aoife Healy, I think, who was back there, who got her boot on it at the second time of asking on the line. But you were absolutely right, the ball didn't quite reach.
You can see there was a bit more wind behind her there than in the first half. So
this is Ennis again for UCC. I think scores will be hard for them, harder in this second half. It was hard enough in the first half. Amy Harrington is their number 8. She's a Kerry girl. In fact, was player of the match for Kerry against Cork in the National League earlier this year. And DCU have won that one back rather easily. So it's DCU playing from left to right on their home ground in the O'Rourke Cup final, otherwise known as the Division 1 League final. Same pairing we had in the O'Connor Cup final earlier this year down at MTU Cork, and DCU won that by a couple of points, and no doubt both these teams will be very prevalent in the new year. But it's all about the league final tonight, and it's all about trying to get a little bit of silverware. And just as Emma Duggan prepared to kick, the referee held play up because a player is down injured, so we'll have a little bit of a pause here. 3 minutes into the second half. I do keep checking your messages either on my own Twitter, or rather Instagram at Jerome Quinn 1, or on YouTube. There's a good few messages and a big crowd on watching there. You can leave a message on the live chat there, and a few people have. Kieran McGarvey says, come on Orla Corey. There's a bit of Donegal love there, I think, going on. And Aisling Wright says, great first half, she enjoyed it. But you know what, it's great, not only the play, but great to be able to bring this on a live stream and showcase the play at this level, because there's so many fantastic young players here, and they're playing right through into the winter when a lot of the other players have stopped. Nave, not pointing any elbows. Are you still playing a bit?
No, thankfully,
no camogie?
a little bit of off season this year. and enjoying it. But it won't be long before we are back on the pitch.
Yeah, well, talking about enjoying the break, I see Hannah Tyrrell was in Kansas last week.
Yeah, and I think she's heading to Australia
She
now
is.
in the next few weeks.
That's globetrotting for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why she came home. She just go on round when she's there, but yeah.
Well,
so
for some.
that one spilled out for Emma Duggan. Emma followed by two players, one of them Roisin Ennis. This is Hanley. Feeds it inside, but it's spilled, and UCC have a chance now to counter because they've turned that over, and this is Amy Harrington. She is faced up but managed to get a nice ball away, though that's a clever ball she got to Emma Morrissey, and off goes Morrissey. She's got at least a couple of scores so far and is carrying this a long way. I think scores will be at a premium in the second half, and they don't get it. That was a misplaced ball, or rather it was just bounced out of the arms, and DCU now have a chance. And they can counter the counter, if you like. And Emma Duggan pops a nice ball in there to Lohan. Still lots of UCC players there, and not much support for Clodagh, so comes back to Duggan. She fancies it off her left foot, and this would be an amazing score if she got it. And it has just gone to the right. A brilliant effort, though, off her left foot in the conditions.
Yeah, brilliant opportunity there.
It looks like it's opening up a wee bit when you get a transition, then another transition. Maybe the game's just opening up a little bit.
Yeah, I think DCU are moving the ball a little bit faster, and it's working out in their favour.
This is Hanley, though. They've got it back, and they might get a score now because they've got it out to Hannah McGuinness. Somebody got a hand in there for UCD and popped it out to Harrington. And there's a kick pass. Well, you know what? The wind has just dropped, so that's turned out to be a super ball to Emma Morrissey, and they've actually done a little weave here because Bree McMaw has come on the left-hand side. Really good support play from her, and she leaves it off to Abigail Ring. And Abigail, she's fouled, but keeps going. And yes, they are going to bring it back, and she wasn't really getting anywhere there, but good play by her, and a really good transition up the field there. And the kick pass, we've been talking about maybe kick passes aren't that wise, but that was an excellent one, and it really worked out perfectly. And DCU now making a change, so UCC made two changes at half time and one now for DCU. Niamh, have you any idea who it is or who's gone off? I see they're making a positional switch.
Off.
Who?
Eva Gallagher has gone off. Yeah. I think it's Jade Lyons coming on.
And Maria Cannon has gone up towards the full forward line at the other end of the field, so a positional switch there.
Yeah, Jade Lyons has come on.
Oh, Jade Lyons, yeah, so she's number 20 from Sligo. Got it, thank you. And that's her on the ball now. So a change for DCU. Early in the second half, 7 minutes in. We haven't had a score yet in this half.
No, and there have been a few scoring opportunities.
Yeah, well, Emma Duggan's had a couple. One from play and one from a free, and both extremely close, but remains 5 points each. 23 minutes to go. The sub again, Lions getting plenty of ball in the first minute on the field as DCU try and get an angle themselves now. Again, the play mainly over on that far side from us, but this is good nippy play. Now, is that McLaughlin? And she goes for her shot, goes for goal actually, and doesn't get it. Straight at the goalkeeper. And I think she was going for goal there, not a point, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say she was going for it. I think she just kind of misjudged it and kicked it straight at the goalkeeper.
But the way the game's going in the second half, there have been no scores. Maybe a point would have been a good option there.
Yeah. Or pop it to the player inside her.
And now UCC have a chance to get up the field, and that's Morrissey putting it into the full forward line. And a foul, and that's going to be, well, the Cork player's down actually. It's way over there. Our camera's going closer in for us, but Morrissey coming over to help. Is that a knee injury there, it looks like? Too early for cramp.
It looks like a little bit of a soft free there from the referee.
Yeah. Is that a Dublin coat in the background there?
I'd imagine so.
A few Dublin people in those houses have got a free view if they want as well. Just checking on the messages again as we have a little bit of a pause here. Chance for more subs to come in. So how important do you think it is, Niamh, or how important are the two managements taking this, you know, wanting to win this in particular? Certainly the UCC ones looked very fired up at half time.
Yeah, I suppose it gives them a good boost going into the championship, which will start in January. So
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
a boost rather than
yeah.
anything else. UCC trying again. They haven't really got close at all in the second half.
No.
And that's another foul, I think, yeah. So it's well, I think the word stalemate probably sums it up now. Now they come over to their number 20 on the field. And that's Roisin Ennis. This is McMaw faced up, and you see the way DCU working so hard there. They don't want to let them in, and eventually somebody takes a kick at it, and it's Brosnan, and she was hoping to think that the wind would carry it round, but it didn't. Joe Carroll alongside us here, and he's just called to one of the subs to get ready, and it'll take a while because she had a hat on, a coat on, a tracksuit top, tracksuit bottom, so it might take a while. Understandably a little bit cold for the subs here, although they are in the dugout beside us at least. What number do you see? A number?
23.
23. Jessica Gill, another Kerry player. So yeah, a bit of a lull in the game at the minute. 5 points each. No scores in the first 10 minutes of the second half, but somebody's going to need to make a break for the line as such. Our equipment's starting to get blown over. And remember, we have another game on after this. Thank you, Neve. She's repairing or bringing back the equipment for us. Another game on after this, another live stream, but it's on a different platform, and it is the higher education men's version of this, the Division 1 League final, and that will be on the Higher Education GAA YouTube channel. So we'll stop on this one and restart on that one, and it's the same colleges. UCC not happy with that decision, but it gives DCU a chance.
It's always a challenge that is put up in every ladies football match, is the barge.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit soft there on the refs.
It's always hard to read though, isn't it? Is it hard to read as a player?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a fine line between a barge and kind of the defender playing for the barge.
But I'm sure you're told as a player you have to try and be seen to avoid the challenge, isn't that what you say?
Yeah, I think
Harder.
you have to make a little bit of an effort to get around the player.
Yeah. I remember a referee told me that once, and the next week I saw a challenge, said she made an effort, but not quite enough of an effort was the reply. So it's really hard to judge for players and commentators. You see it happening, you sort of pause because you think, I don't know what way that's going. Another little hold up here. Don't see the 23 coming on just yet. No, she's been told to get ready, and she is now coming on. I think those jerseys are a bit big. She's trying to tuck it in now. So 23 for UCC, Jessica Gill. 3 Kerry players started the game, another one coming in, and at half time we had an Offaly girl, Roisin Ennis, came in, and Amy McDonough from Cork. Duggan has the ball. We get going again. That's Bree McMaw trying to overturn that, but didn't. Instead, it's a free for DCU. Eddie Cuthbert, the referee. This is Mortimer. This is better. Clodagh Lohan now from Longford Slashers. It's been nearly 13 minutes in the second half. We haven't had a score yet, and we're still not going to get one because the interception is by Amy Harrington. Gets it to Breed McMaw, and it's UCC trying to counter now and move up the pitch. Emma Morrissey just waiting for that pass, and she gets it against her old college, but she is now held up by Fionnuala McLaughlin. Real stop-start this second half. There's no real momentum or fluidity to it. They still haven't made the substitution. UCC had an opportunity there and passed it up. Ennis. Wouldn't it be funny if Ennis and Morrissey combined to win this for UCC? Well, DCU wouldn't think it's funny. That's Katie Brosnan. Giving it over to, is that Rahali up there? Is that 4? It is Roisin Rahali, yeah. Kerry girls combining, and now they're along the right hand side. UCC,
Great
and the block came in by, was it McGuinness? It was McGuinness, yeah. I'm looking for the number, but you'll just know her. And as you see on the scoreboard there, it's still 5 points each, 14 minutes into the second half. This is unusual, not to see scores for as long a period as this, but you have to take into account the conditions. DCU looking to break through the line. They get it to Duggan, who transfers it quickly to Jade Lyons from Meath to Sligo. Now way over on that far side, that's McGuinness. The dub putting it into the girl from Roscommon. This is Aisling Hanley. Prefers her left foot, but she'll just look for a little bit of support and then gets it, and it's McGuinness all the way up supporting, and now we might get that first score of the second half. Tough challenge went in, but it has gone over, and it's taken 14.5 minutes in the second half, but a really good score in the end. Tough challenge goes in there, and she persisted. It was all about McGuinness, really. She had 2 contributions there, and the score in the end came from, was
Kerry
it Lohan?
Owens.
Oh no, it was number 20, you're right.
No, Kerry Owens.
That was
Number
Kerry
9.
Owens? I was looking out trying to see, I was trying to commentate and watch everybody turning around and watch the replay. So it was Kerry Owens from Thomas Davis. 14, nearly 15 minutes in the second half it took.
And number 13 from UCC, Katie Brosnan's coming off there.
Oh yeah, she came off for 23.
Yeah.
So Gill is on. So 6 points to 5 now. UCC haven't scored in the second half, and obviously they need to now. McMaw. I don't know if it's the wind or the DCU defence has been better in the second half, but they haven't got close. But this is the sub, Gill. Let's see what she can do. Ball booted down into the left corner. The support is there from Harrington for Hallinan. And Hallinan just facing up her player and then gives it off to Abigail Ring. Abigail scored 4 points in the O'Connor Cup final, by the way. 3 from play. This is better from UCC. Will they get their first score of the second half? It's the sub who's just come in. It might even end up in the net, and it is a goal. Well, she's only into the play for UCC. It's Jessica Gill from Kerry. Well, Joe Carroll is the new manager of Cork Senior Ladies, and he's managing this team, and he can take the credit for that brilliant substitution, because within a minute of coming on, Jessica Gill has got the first goal of the game, and I think she caught out the keeper there by getting it over her head.
Yeah, I think so. I think the move came from Sive McGoldrick, taking the step inside her player and just finding the free player inside her.
Yeah, credit to McGoldrick as well. And it's now 1-5, so that is their first score of the second half. Took a while. They haven't got a point yet, but they've got a goal, and that could be priceless, because 13 minutes left in this game. It is 8-6 as you see now on our scoreboard. 2 points in it for UCC, and that gives them something really to defend here. But what do you think, Niamh? Do they automatically defend that, or do they just keep playing and keep going? What do you think?
No, I think they need to keep going. I think 2 points in a ladies football game is nothing. So I think they need to push on and try and up their lead.
I just really got an indication from the manager at half time that they really, really wanted to win this. Maybe put down a bit of a marker, because maybe they haven't won too much in the last few years, and maybe after the O'Connor Cup final as well, just to come up here and to beat DCU in their home pitch. Am I reading too much into that?
No, definitely, especially after DCU beating them in the O'Connor Cup final, they'll definitely have a little bit of hurt there too.
Is there another score here? Oh, it shoots low, and there's another goal at the other end, and it is Kerry Owens. Well, that's a great response by the girl from Thomas Davis and from DCU. As we look at it again, it was good work by the number 20 Jade Lyons, and she went low there and got underneath the keeper, and that is 2 goals in a minute. This game has just come to life, and they get it again with Jade Lyons. The subs have made a difference, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think Jade looked up there and saw Hannah McGuinness in space behind the defence. This
is Emma Morrissey now, the Tipperary girl, on a UCC scholarship, by the way, announced just in the last week or so, I think that was. And now this is Breed McMaw. She goes for her score, but the wind is going to carry that way, way over to the right. And after UCC got themselves into a good position, they have been rocked back by another goal. So 2 goals in a couple of minutes. No scores in the first 14.5 minutes at all. And then we get 3 scores in a couple of minutes. Just checking on the live chat to make sure you're all enjoying the game, and that seems to be the way. Good audience watching the game on there, and great to be able to bring you this live stream of this occasion here early in December. Eddie Cuthbert, the ref, is going to hop that one, and it's Harrington against Duggan. Harrington for UCC. Kerry against Meath. Emma Duggan gets one hand to it, but UCC's other midfielder, oh no, that was Harrington who came in actually, was it?
Yeah, it was McGoldrick in the throw.
You're right. That's who it was. And now this is Healy, player of the match in the O'Connor Cup final this year, driving her team forward again and gets it to Breed McMaw. She'll want to get on her right foot. Oh, and that's great play by her to get inside. They've got advantage here and they're going to get a free, and this should be a point for them, and good determined play by McMaw there, getting inside as we watch it again, and a bit of a tug on her there, I think, by Charters.
I think a bit of relief for DCU there. I think there was a goal on.
A point will do though for UCC. Easier said than done as the wind gets really, really strong, but Morrissey deals with that, and we're back to a 1 point game with exactly 10 minutes to go now. And the referee holding play up because there's another substitution, and guess who? It's the captain, number 28, Rachel Sheehan.
On for number 4.
From Cork, on for 4, good spot for Roisin Rahali. And Rachel, by the way, if you didn't hear me earlier, we were given 23 players for UCC, and then just before the game we were told we've one more, number 28, Rachel Sheehan, and she went and took the toss as captain, and now she's in the play. So UCC throwing their captain in there for the last 10 minutes of this game to see if they can turn this around. Amy Harrington doing her best to get it over to the substitute Roisin Ennis, who came in at half time, and a foul on her. And Ennis will just pop it back to another substitute, Gill. Oh no, it's not, that's the other substitute, Sheehan. 28 and 23 and 20 in there, as well as 17, Amy McDonough. Those are the changes for UCC. But DCU have a 1 point lead, 9 minutes to go, and they're just sitting in waiting for the UCC attack, and then they'll try and pick them off. But this is Side McGoldrick. She's been playing really well the last 10 minutes or so, but that ball trying to get into the full forward area, but it's intercepted, and DCU in no particular rush to get up the field. That was Faye McAvoy taking her time, and she's now gone into space and will get the ball again. 8.5 minutes. Now she bursts through 2 or 3 players. That's great play, but she's held up by Morrissey and fouled by Morrissey. She'll take her time, and DCU in no particular rush. Haven't seen too many DCU subs.
No, I think we've only had Jade Lyons come on.
Is that the only one?
Seems to be.
Yeah, and they named 27. Oh, UCC have stolen this. They've got it back, and it's Aoife Healy. Gives it back to Morrissey. Good kick pass as well, but has she been able to take it? She has. It's Gill again. She got a goal a minute ago. She's gone off towards goal again and goes for a point. This would level it. It's a good effort. And it has just dipped over the bar. Well, Jessica Gill has come in, and she's got a goal and a point. And was it a goal? Wasn't
no,
a goal?
I think UCC have gotten a point up.
Oh, maybe our scoreboard's... Was our scoreboard wrong? Anyway, let's follow the play, because Morrissey has got a chance and she puts it wide, and Joe Carroll's not happy with that effort at all. Sorry, what happened there, Niamh?
I think UCC are a point up.
Did we miss a point or something by them, or was it? Because it was 5 points each at half time, so that means they've scored 2 points. Oh, they'd one from the free and then that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're up to date now on the scoreboard. It's 1-7 to 1-6. A 1 point lead for UCC. There was me saying they were trying to equalise it, but it was to try and go ahead. 1 point lead. I'm glad you're here. I'm too busy following the play. And that one is spilled by Dara Canary for UCC, and she just got an important hand in there for the Cork College. And I think you have to give credit to UCC the last 5-10 minutes, because they hadn't scored in the first 14.5 minutes. They got their goal, but then they were rocked by a goal, but they've responded really well since then, haven't they?
Yeah, big time momentum has gone in their way.
They've got a couple of nice points, but they've just been playing really well and going forward, and the subs have made a difference for them as well. This is Eve Power from St Pat's in Waterford coming up and joining the play. She's a terrific young player. That was Amy McDonough. No, it wasn't. It was Morrissey doing really well, and this is Abigail Ring. And their forwards are really going at DCU. They're driving at them all the time now, and they're getting quite a bit of joy.
Yeah, they're moving the ball really well, and they're picking pockets in the DCU defence.
It was ever since I said the DCU defence have been doing well. And then now you find that they're struggling a bit, and they've coughed up a few frees in possession in the last 5 minutes. But it's been that kind of game, one way and then the other. Oh, a great hand in there. Was that McGoldrick again? I think it was.
I think so.
And that's O'Neill. Oh, brilliant challenge coming in for DCU, but she doesn't get the ball, and that's a dangerous looking one. The keeper has to watch that. Oh, and she might have spilled it. It might end up in the net. Has she got it? Oh, the referee has blown. I think he's given a free out. But
I think she seemed to take a kick to the head.
Oh, hope not. But she's certainly down.
I think it was on the ball.
Struggling a little bit there, but yeah, she just lost the ball there, and then yeah. Well, obviously he has to hold the play up there, and he is. But I think she's okay. But a nervy moment there for them. Referee just got in to talk to his umpires, Eddie Cuthbert, the ref, as play is just held up for a minute. 5 minutes to go on the clock, but this means obviously a little bit will be added on. Gives me a time to mention that we have another live stream on after this on a different platform, so we'll stop it on here, but we are staying here for the cup presentation at the end of the game by Con Moynihan. Goalkeeper's okay. Orla Corey, and we can continue. The men are warming up in the background here for the next game. DCU also against UCC in the Electric Ireland Division 1 League Senior Final. Great opportunity to have the two games live streamed here tonight from the one venue. Now DCU find themselves now a point in arrears with 4 minutes on the clock, and a burst of pace there by Jade Lyons trying to get up and support, and she's still there offering support. Not required just yet. They come inside. Duggan is there. She's calling for it. I'd say she fancies an effort from distance and maybe let the wind carry it. But UCC have just brought their defence up a little bit, and they're just going to try and frustrate DCU. But DCU been extremely patient and just coming back out the field. Now the challenge comes in, but it's an illegal one. Free for DCU, but there's a player down, and the referee just blowing. Is he holding it up? Is there a player getting a little bit of treatment, or is there a change maybe?
Seems to be a change coming in.
Yeah, it is a change, yeah. You're really good at these changes. Oh, 32's gone off. That's Faye McAvoy. So change in defence for DCU, and coming 17. On a 17, yeah. Tara Breheny from St Mary's and Sligo. So another, and is that another DCU player gone off? Is it their number 11? Did she go off there, Maria Cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gone off. And is it
the player here?
Who's the other one? I'll follow the play. You try and get the number. 7, Christina Charters now for DCU on the ball. Sarah Reynolds here, you see in the foreground of her shot. She's hugging the touchline, hoping it'll come over this side. But Clodagh Lohan is going the direct route through the middle, and she has been fouled and is going to be brought back. And Emma Duggan now, will she look for a pass? Well, she's not going to get the opportunity because they've taken it quickly. Out to Sarah Reynolds. DCU need a point. 2.5 minutes to go. They trail by a point on their home pitch. Jenna Mortimer now from Holly Mountain Mayo to Lyons from Sligo, and they're just going to be patient again and go out the field and try again. You spotted that sub? No. Okay, this is Kerry Owens again. Kerry, who got the goal, gives it out to Sarah Reynolds from Leitrim. UCC guarding their goals and trying to keep them out of the scoring zone, and that was a rash hand in there, a bit loose from, I think it was Ennis, and this gives an opportunity now, but it's on the right hand side. I think the sub
is 28.
28, we don't have a 28. Oh, that 28, you're right, they do have a 28, because he told us that, because Alana Fitzpatrick is wearing 28. She was given 23, but then handed the 28 jersey, so we did get that change. She's from Clare Morris. Another from Connacht here. Aisling Hanley now from Kilbride and Roscommon. 1.5 minutes to go. She is a chance to level it.
We have another sub on there for DCU.
There is. 22 is on. That's Emily Corbett from Laois. But Hanley, it's gone to the left and it's going to go wide. Tricky one in the conditions. The wind taking that off to the left, and UCC might survive here. There's about 1 minute and 15 seconds, and then whatever is added on. The 22 is on Emily Corbett from Laois, but the kick out has gone over all of the DCU players, and UCC have a chance here to get it up the field and keep it up there. I think that's Anya O'Neill. The referee is blowing, and the word from UCC is to slow it down. They're in no hurry here, and yes, the coaches are all making the signs to the players, just take your time. We don't need to force this, I think is the way you would put that. UCC then, with Morrissey and Anya O'Neill combining on that right hand side, and I think that's Sive McGoldrick again, and back out to Anya O'Neill. This is Healy, and UCC playing keep ball at the minute. They get it out to Ennis, who's been very busy in this second half, and that's Morrissey. So the two ex-DCU girls combining. This is Healy. And DCU not really forcing the issue, Niamh. Do they need to get up the field a bit?
Yeah, they need to press out. They need a turnover ball.
We often commentate in games like this and say, why aren't they pressing out? But see, when you're playing, I suppose it's a lot harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or does somebody sort of need to lead and sort of say, come on, get up the field?
Yeah, you need to go together. There's no point going in ones and twos.
Well, DC, you're trying to do that now. They have players up the field. In fact, they have players over, and UCC haven't spotted this. But if they booted the ball high up the field, they could profit here. Now UCC are waking up to it. We are now in added time. DCU on their home field. Can they rescue this? Not that we necessarily want extra time, but a point, of course, would get us there. But UCC have won it back, and indeed they've won a free as well. And take your time again is the instruction from the UCC sideline. We are in no hurry.
Another sub in there for DCU.
DCU, they're making a lot of changes, but it's kind of late in the day, isn't it?
Yeah, too late. Orla Mallon.
Yeah, from
on
Meath.
For Ciara Durkin.
24
and they've
from
turned it
Navan
over.
Matthews. DCU have it, and they have a chance after all, and it is, I think, one of the subs. Now Hanley, she might be able to redeem herself and goes on to her left, and has she swung it? Oh, yeah. She has redeemed herself. She missed a free a couple of minutes ago, and we thought maybe the chance was gone, but Aisling Hanley from Roscommon swung on to her favourite left foot. Never mind the win, she's put it over, and she might just have forced extra time. Great score by her.
Yeah, brilliant. Good Rob there from Orla Mallon just on the pitch, and she gets the important turnover.
Yeah, so that's who you were pointing out. The Meath girl came in and she made a vital contribution there. Now we're a minute and a half into added time. I think there's only time for maybe one more attack. Now the men are warming up behind us for the next game. They might have to wait a little while. There might be extra time here.
Maybe heading back inside to keep warm.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Eddie Cuthbert is... What's he doing? Is he going to... Oh, he's just brought it forward a little bit, yeah.
Still a DCU free.
Emma Duggan has it then. Is there time for DCU to win this? We're now in the 63rd minute. They get it to Clodagh Lohan. They feed it back out again. They get it to the number 20, Jade Lyons, who's been good since she came in. All the subs have made a difference. Tara Breheny has made a difference. Orla Mallon created the score a second ago. This is Lyons again. They're coming all the way out the field. The referee is maybe trying to give them to have one more attack, but they don't seem to want it. They're going back rather than going forward, and it might even be turned over. If UCC can get it, they can't. 2.5 minutes added time have been played. Another free. It's a free for DCU. They take it quickly. Can they get a score here and win this in dramatic fashion right at the end? Well, there's a challenge going in. It's another free, you know. It's another free, and Emma Duggan will fancy this.
Yeah, you'd expect Emma now to put this over.
No pressure.
No.
But I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, the wind's going to cross the field. This is going to be a tough. It's not an easy one. So Emma Duggan steps up. She's won All Irelands in Croke Park. She has won an O'Connor Cup with her college. She is captain tonight. It's on the 14, or rather the 13 metre line, of course they call it now. The wind is going right over into her face, so she needs to aim for the far post to win this for DCU. She's got it. You heard the roar there from the DCU subs over on the far side. They liked it, and DCU have somehow turned this around with a couple of scores right at the end, and I think they've just about won it. And indeed, there goes the full-time whistle. Well, the ball lands with Aisling Hanley, who got the score just before that, and then Emma Duggan, and they have won this against UCC, who I think probably thought we've done just enough to win this, but DCU on home home territory here, have turned it around with 2 late scores. And I guess, Niamh Heatherton, it's more a case of relief than anything for DCU. They've won that at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was. I think UCC may be kicking themselves. I think they kind of threw it away there at the end. But it was a great game and very close all the way through.
And what was it at the end there? It looked to me that there were a couple of rash tackles that gave away frees. Maybe they panicked a little bit. And also the DCU subs, although they were a bit late, they were effective.
Yeah, I think that turnover there, I think UCC had a free and Orla Mallon turned it over. I think that was probably the turning point for DCU, and they got 2 scores from that.
Okay. And your thoughts on player of the match and contenders for player of the match?
Yeah, I'd say I think there's definitely a few from UCC. Emma Morrissey was brilliant. I think Sive McGoldrick was very good coming out of defence too. And then from DCU, I'd say Claude Alone was definitely very good breaking through. I'm not sure, can you look past Emma Duggan getting 6 points or 7 points? I think she may have gotten 6 points there in the end.
Sorry, I had to go away from you there for a second. Who was your decision?
I think I went with Emma Duggan. I think she was very good. She was all over the pitch for DCU.
Well, in the first half, her team scored 5 points and she scored all of them.
Yeah.
And then she comes up with a winner at the end. So I hear a bit of singing there.
She was a little bit of a playmaker in the game as well.
Yeah. She had a couple of chances early in the second half, one from playing, one from a free, and they were very close as well. But yeah, overall, I guess you would. So smiles all around for DCU. I don't know if I go as far as saying they put down a marker, because so much changes after Christmas. You know that. Yeah.
I don't think you can read too much into winning the league, but definitely shows that they're in contention for the O'Connor Cup.
Well, they'll both be there, of course.
Yeah.
And they were in the final last year. And there's Abigail, number 3, Temple Lasoko, and she'll be delighted there. She's having a bit of fun there with Orla Mallon, Meath and Donegal, and all the players smiling and enjoying that. To be honest, I didn't see it coming in the last couple of minutes, did you?
No, I think momentum definitely swung in UCC's way in the last 10-15 minutes. But credit to DCU, they never stopped fighting.
I'm just waving at somebody here. Would you mind going over and getting them over here? Because not only do we want to get the presentation, but we want to get on to do the men's game right after this. And if nobody goes over to them players, they will not come over. They're just standing around there. But somebody needs to say, do you want to get this cup? Come on over. And in fact, you can see in the background there, Niamh, the men are actually doing their drills right behind them. So they are anxious to get going after this. So the sooner the better. And there's Anya in the middle of them too. Would somebody, come on lads, there's Stephen, the manager. It's only 10 minutes to go now until the men's game. So we might have to actually step out of this one before the presentation if they don't hurry up, because we need to do the next game as well. Hopefully they'll get it done quickly over here, but they're coming over now. And there's Con. He will make the cup presentation, and I will be nipping away from you in a minute. Niamh will bring the microphone out, so we'll hopefully hear what Con has to say. But yeah, the game scheduled to start at 8 o'clock, and it's 11 minutes to 8 by my reckoning. So DCU against UCC in the next game as well. And if you didn't hear me earlier, I'm going to repeat the lovely line, because Fionnuala McLaughlin, number 12 for DCU, has now won this league final, and her twin brother is out there now, and he is going to play for DCU in the men's league final. So twins playing in both games for DCU, Fionnuala and Finbar. Right, I think we're close now. So I see Con there stepping forward with the cup. So when he starts to talk, I think he's waiting for UCC, because they're in a bit of a huddle there. The ladies in no particular rush here, Niamh, to get this going. Go on ahead, I'll come out with it. Just telling them to get on with the show. But he's calling for DCU to come in, but we need UCC, and their manager is having a chat, but hopefully they're going to break off from that, and they are now. So that's my signal. So Niamh, thanks very much.
No problem.
Don't panic, I'm going to leave you now, but I'm just going to go out and try and capture this presentation.
Will you come on a little bit for me, please?
Go ahead, I'll hold it.
Oh, you'll hold
There
it.
you go.
Will you hear me? You will.
No, we'll hear you on the stream, but
Okay.
we'll hear you here as well.
Okay, folks, can I have your attention for a few minutes? First and foremost, on behalf of the Higher Education Committee, I want to welcome everyone here today, and in particular the two teams, for what I would consider a fairly cagey, tough affair. One of those days you'd say, well, should anyone lose? But that's football, that's sport. Commiserations to UCC, tough match. The kick of the ball in the end. But what I'm looking forward to is seeing both ye teams in the championship. It's something to look forward to. Well done, DCU. Just got there at the end, but well deserved. You know, that's what football is all about. It's whoever takes the scores. I thought we had a situation there when there was goals going in. I thought we were going to see 3 or 4 more. But anyway, well done to both teams. Played in the right spirit, and that's what it's all about. So without further ado, I present the trophy to the DCU captain, Emma Duggan. Put it this side. Yeah. And don't say what's on. I knew you'd say it. Well done.
Thank you. Keep it short and sweet. Never really have them prepared, but first of all to the referee for coming out and officiating another fairly cagey battle against UCC. To the HEC for organising another very successful league. I think, speaking on behalf of ourselves and probably most teams in the competition, it's a very valued competition. Getting a few games in the pre-season and getting a new group together is always very beneficial. So big thank you to our own management, Stephen, Anthony, Darren, Finno, Anya, Tarps. I don't think I've forgotten anyone there. A massive thank you for all your time and effort so far this year. It's never easy, Stephen, especially coming back year after year and bringing a new group together and to put the work in that you have. I think this is a bonus for us today, so a massive thank you to them. To the people in the background who I actually forgot back in March, Paul O'Brien, Louise, Dave Sweeney, to name a few, but everyone that does all the work in the background, your support is so appreciated by myself and the girls. We're never left wanting for anything, and I think it's fair to say this group wouldn't function without you guys, so a massive thank you. I'm sure there'll be a lot more favours asked by Stephen in the new year as well, so thank you for that. To the girls beside me here, a lot of familiar faces, but a lot of new faces as well. I think the older girls can speak that the new girls have come in, brought a breath of fresh air, and the way that each of you stood up to there. Aisling Hanley scoring that point there, I knew she had it in her, but stepping up and committing to this squad, it's never easy, but a massive thank you for your effort so far, and looking forward to pushing on in January as well. And finally to UCC, there's not much more to say. I think every time we come up against you, we always have to lift our game 2 or 3 gears. It was no different today. Thank you so much for coming up the road. I know it was a long journey. I'm sure this won't be the last time we meet you again. Thanks for robbing a couple of our girls as well. But a massive thank you, safe journey, and the very best luck in preparation for championship. So thank you.
And as DCU celebrate, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut our live stream short because we have another one right after this. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage of this league final from us all, from DCU. For now, goodbye.